You know what's funny? When people say fame gets to your head, right? Delusion defeats the water, right? Which is a simple way of saying, well, not really simple. It's an other way of saying they who feed your illusion will also feed your hatred. They will also feed you ego, right? But a video of mine, you may or may not have seen it. The video that I did where I was bobbing my head, smiling, and had the Daisy Taylor, one of the Daisy Taylor, the Daisy Taylor videos that I've done where I'm like acting a fool or I'm smiling. Yeah, one of them has 30,000 and 2,800 views. That's my most viewed video, right? Which is funny because it's also the one I don't get noticed for in public. But the stuff I get noticed for in public, if I do get noticed, is either the Are You Scared At series, right, or the Wrestler series, right? Like about 2 to 3 years ago, when somebody yelled out a girl about my age at the time was like, "That's the guy who did that's the guy who's doing the Wrestler series," and my immediate thought was, yeah, that's me. I said that too. I was like, yeah, that's me. Like, it's really me. And one is like, no, that ain't him. I was like, no, it's really me. I'm not famous, right? I'm not popular. I'm real known. And I'm a content creator, yes. Right? I'm not an influencer by any means. I don't want to influence you to buy shit. Right? I don't tell you, hey, buy this merchandise here now. No, that's not me. Right? I don't try to make you buy content. Savannah, you gonna eat your food? Right? If I make you do anything, it's to make you be happy. Right? I want you to feel how I feel after the day. If I make you feel pissed, then good, I did my job. If I make you feel upset, then hey. Right? I want you to feel how I feel through my videos. Right? If I make you feel any emotion in my videos, then hey, I did my job as an entertainer. That's what we do as entertainers. Right? I'm a content creator. I'm an entertainer. I'm not an influencer. Influencer implies I'm trying to get you to buy something. Right? I don't want you to buy anything, right? That's not my point of view. That's not what I'm trying to do, right? I'm not trying to be like, hey, buy this here, buy this now. No. I'm trying to get you to watch content, and if you enjoy it, then cool. Right? If I make you happy, then cool. I've made your day. If I've made someone's day, out to the day, right? If I have made someone's day, then great. Right? I don't want to ever be that person people watch and go, well, his content sucks. I've had people tell me that. I've had people online tell me I need to kill myself. I've had people in person tell me that I'm crazy, I'm psycho, I'll never make it in anything that I do. And the same thing happens online. And I know I'm not the only one. Right? I've done other videos like this where I've explained points of views, but never to this degree. Right? Now, you could hate what I gotta say. You can agree with what I gotta say. Right? For those of you that hate what I gotta say, you can just, fart yourself to death. I don't care. The point is, it's obvious. Right? If you're watching me from the middle of Africa, right, and I'm influencing you to be a content creator, that's great. Right? If I'm influencing you to be an entertainer, I'm not trying to be an influencer. I'm trying to be an entertainer. I'm trying to make somebody's life better. That's my point of view with a lot of my content. Right? I don't want to make somebody look at my content and go, he's just saying shit to say shit. He's just being a dumbass. Did he really say that in that one video? A while back, somebody said that I said something about, said I hate gays. I don't hate gays. Right? I don't. I find that funny that someone thought I said that in a video. But I said that everybody has their own shade of rainbow. Right? Well, that's exactly what I said. To them, that meant that I hate gays. People are just dumb, they're stupid, they're idiotic. Right? People have their own opinions, and sometimes, just like assholes, they should really keep it to their fucking self. Right? Or other variation of that. Right? The Sistine Chapel wasn't built in a fucking day. Right? And your opinion will always be a goddamn opinion. And that's the truth. It's a fact. And then what, baby? Yep. You know, I started making content just to make content. But I originally started making content on Twitch. Right? Right? My original plan with this YouTube channel, I've talked about it before, was to make a couple of regular videos, to make a couple of videos of me, you know, training and wrestling, and then da-da-da. That was the plan. That plan has forged down a path of fire. Right? Not saying I won't be a pro wrestler. Right? This might be my plan forever. I might just be a YouTuber. I might just be a content creator. Right? 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 And that is a possibility. Everything has a possibility. Everything has a way of happening. Everything has a way of showing you how it's going to happen. Right? Okay. Next point. Next little point of view. But I have over 4,000 videos on YouTube alone. Right? Sometimes I post one a day. Sometimes I post 2 to 3, 4 times a day. Right? Out of all them videos, right, it took me years to get 1,000 views. How many years? A year. Right? I started posting in 2019, 2020, when I got my first 1,000 views. That was the Miro video. Right? My first 10,000, right, that was cool. Right? Now I get 1,000 maybe per week. Per week. Right? I don't get 1 million. I don't have 1 million subscribers. I don't have 1,000 subscribers. I have 500 subscribers on YouTube. Right? I went from Twitch, YouTube, I've done Likey, right? I've done it all. Right? I've done beagle. That little annoying little app right there. And people on that app, right, will call you a bunch of names like redneck, honky, right? You're just a racist piece of shit with a bunch of black people, shit like that, to get underneath your skin. I do not like using that app. That app, I feel like, should be taken down, but that's just my opinion. But I speak my opinion and I speak my truth to a fact, you know? Right? I talk about history facts. Right? I talk about animals. I talk about everything you can think of beneath the fucking sun, because I want to be seen. That's the reason I do this, is because I want to be seen. Right? I don't have to be seen. I don't have to be seen. I don't have to be heard. I don't have to be heard. You know? I don't have to be heard. Right? I don't have to be heard like a herd of cattle. I don't have to be heard. Right? Like a herd of cattle going through a farm or going through a storm. I don't have to be heard. I want to be heard. I gotta be heard. Right? 4,000 videos, 4,007 to be exact on YouTube. Right? Over 1,500 when I had Likey. Right? I did Likey for 3 years. What is Likey? Likey is basically a children's version of TikTok. There's a bunch of little kids on there. And some adults, too. Not the point. But I also had Snapchat for a period of time. I was trying to use that to convert my content. People get to my content. And then I got kicked off of that for some dumb reason. I don't know. I think somebody said something that wasn't true. But that's not the point. Right? Like the first time that I ever got kicked off of TikTok. But all I was doing was making videos, trying to be entertaining. Somebody said something. I don't know who. Said something. Fun fact. First week on TikTok, I got catfished. Right? By a person who was using a building's name and a building's address to catfish me. Right? I've been doing TikTok now for almost 5 years. Right? Little fun fact there. Right? They use somebody else's likeness. Right? Use somebody else's, not kids, but niece and nephew. Right? And I told that person, like, hey, somebody else is using your likeness. Right? It was like a story from the show Catfish. It was just very weird. Okay? You have to have film equipment. You have to figure out parts to the video. Right? I don't script my videos. I don't try to script my videos. I don't try to do anything to script my videos. Right? The last season of Are You Scared At was supposed to be very different. Right? Supposed to have a crow mask. I was supposed to do the Crow Man, which was the whole point of that series. It got scrapped because, well, I couldn't do it. I needed my sister to help me out with that because I needed her to be a part of that. I wanted her to play one of the Scully siblings, one of the Scully hunters. But she knew this. She knew the script. I gave her a lot of this fucking script on her phone. She just wouldn't play along. So, yeah. I'm gonna finish this right here, but before I do, right? Follow your dreams, follow your passions, and they will always come to you, right? Because everything you want, eventually, a dream will no longer be a motherfucking dream.